Sup YouTube, it's me, Casey, and I'm back with another video. And in this video, I'm here to give you all my review of Microsoft's press conference for E3 2014. Yes, it's this time of the year again. We finally get the megatons of information overload instead of information saturation from the gaming media. Now, I'm here to give you all my highlights of how I felt about, give you all the highlights of the Microsoft press conference overall and give you all my review of the press conference itself. So let's get this underway. Now, Microsoft came out of the gate and said that they were going to focus on nothing but games this E3 press conference. And the crowd was like, "Ooh, yeah, Microsoft." Because last year, we all know that Sony pretty much gave it to them. And with the price drop and saying that we're all about games, and they had indie developers by their side, and they showed off all of the third-party support, they were like, we're all about the games. We are here for you gamers. This is a gaming console. We do nothing but game. And they pretty much won E3 for 2014. Now, with Microsoft press conference this year, they were pretty much trying to follow the same route as Sony. They trying to mainly push towards the game to get back their consumer fan base and get all of the crowd hype again. And they showed off Call of Duty, which rubbed us the wrong way because they always show Call of Duty. It's not their game, it's a multi-platform game. And yet again, they said DLC first on Xbox. Like, you know, that's getting old. And we've seen the new Call of Duty. It looks like Call of Duty. I mean, it kind of looks... You can obviously see the new updated graphics. It kind of looks like Killzone in a way and Titanfall mixed together. I mean, like, it's Call of Duty. Whatever. You know, it's coming out this year. Big whoop. Alright? They showed off Tomb Raider. I'm very excited for Tomb Raider 2 because I played a little bit of Tomb Raider 1. And I do plan to buy that game and beat it before this new one comes out, and I'll probably wait for the price drop on the newer one and get that also. But it was good to see at least an announcement of Tomb Raider, even though it was CGI. But they did announce the new Halo anniversary, and it's not just like Halo 2 and 3, it's the Halo, it's all the Halos across the board. And what Microsoft did is revamped all of the graphics for each Halo game. And they say 100 maps are online. So that means they probably not all going to be on one game online. And you play as one character and you play all of these maps. Of course, you're going to have to go through each different game to experience all the maps. But the fact that it's able to play the old maps revamped from like Halo 2, you're able to play those old maps as well as the other ones, and you're able to play them online. That's crazy. So it's like a whole new game. Well, it's your old game being brand new, and it's not like it's HD. It's like an HD upgrade or an HD upscale. It's an actual remake of all the games. It looks like it. I think they redid Halo 2. Unless if it's probably a remake for Halo 2 and then an upscale for the rest of the games. Whatever it is, you're able to play all of those games in the collection online. And it's going to be released this year. And although I'm not a Halo fan and I don't own Xbox, that's a good announcement for Halo fans. And then they went on to say that a beta for Halo 5 is going to be coming out this year. And Halo 5 will be Halo 5 will be coming out in 2015. I thought that was fair. That's a good way to lead up to the next Halo game. Don't leave all the consumers blue balled. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to leave them just there just wanting that Halo game. They gave you a slice of the pie, and it was a pretty good pie, until this next new Halo game comes out. So they gave you the remakes of the Halo games. They're all online. And you get the beta this year near the end. And then the new Halo game is going to be releasing next year. That's great. That's a good job, Microsoft. That's good. Rare comes out. Well, let me go ahead and say this: Project Spark. We seen it last year, and it's pretty much like Little Big Planet. The Microsoft's version or the Xbox version of Little Big Planet, and you pretty much can play any game you want, from chess to a third-person shooter game. You make the game your own, you make it yourself, and you play it. I think that's a pretty good idea, and is a good way to appeal to the younger crowd, and also to appeal to the older demographic. That is great. Okay, I'm not a huge fan of Project Spark, but you gotta give credit where credit is due. Okay. And Cocker had came out on the Project Spark trailer and said, well, I haven't been out for 10 years. Now you can make your own. And then he left. I was like, wow, are you serious? Are you serious? That he pretty much came out, kicked everybody in the balls, and then walked away on the Project Spark trailer. I'm just like, are you serious? Like, are we serious right now? You're gonna come out after 10 years and actually say that on the trailer? You guys have to see this trailer. You guys have to see this trailer. It's pretty freaking hilarious. It's pretty freaking hilarious. So, okay. Alright, so you have Project Spark that they announced. I mean, well, they already announced this last year. You already have Project Spark. You already have Halo. You already have Halo 5. These are 3 exclusive games. Then Rare says that he hints that Rareware, the makers of Rareware, I mean, the guy was out there. The person that was in the company, he was out there on the stage, and he said that, oh, I see that you guys really dug our Killer Instinct announcement. And he hinted at TJ Combo coming in the next Killer Instinct, it coming as a next DLC for Killer Instinct, which was pretty cool. And then he said, oh, you guys like Killer Instinct? Well, we're gonna try another game. We're gonna re-release another game that we've previously had on the Xbox, not the Xbox One, but the original Xbox. And okay, we're just gonna show you the trailer. And this game really looks like it's modern. I never heard of it before. It's a very obscure title, and it's called Phantom Dust. And they're bringing that back. And I thought that was cool, because they're bringing an old game and, you know, bringing it to Xbox. We want to see something from Rareware, and that's a good attempt. That is great that Rareware is actually being used. They're literally bringing out another game after Killer Instinct. After that Killer Instinct announcement last year, they're bringing out another game. That is great. I would love to see more games from Rareware. Again, none of these games that I announced are appealing to me, but they're great, exclusive games nonetheless. And then another announcement from what is it? A Platinum Games said that they were going to release an exclusive game for the Xbox One. And it looks like another action game or whatever, but it's a new IP, and it's for their system. I forget what it's called, but it starts with an O, and it's coming exclusive for the Xbox One. Another thing they showed off, more Sunset Overdrive. Forza 5 is getting new DLC. Dead Rising 3 is coming out with a new DLC, whereas you can play as Capcom characters from previous titles of Capcom games, such as Street Fighter and Mega Man and all that different stuff. So you can play as Ryu, Akuma, Chun-Li, BB Hood, the little Serve Bot from the Mega Man Legends franchise. You can play with all of these guys. You can play with all of these guys in this game in the four-player co-op edition online with each other. And it's great. It's a new DLC for Dead Rising 3. And that is a great DLC for Dead Rising 3. I don't know if they had to announce that on stage, because I don't approve of DLC getting announced on stage. But it was a big announcement nonetheless. I hope that it's chock full of content for this new DLC. But I think that's a great announcement nonetheless. And then I think I may be missing a couple of things here and there. Oh yeah, a new Crackdown game was announced for the Xbox One. Notice that all of these games that I'm announcing are exclusive for the Xbox One. They're not appealing to me, but I can see that they were trying to make the attempt to put games on the Xbox One. And then they also announced Forza 2 Horizon. We already knew about Forza 2 Horizon, but it was cool. You know, DLC for Forza 5 and then Forza 2 Horizon on the way. Okay? And then we had Fable Legends 2. Okay, seriously, these are all exclusive games and exclusive announcements for the Xbox One. And I gotta say, that I think that's all the announcements, if that's all I can think of, for the Xbox One in Microsoft's press conference. Although I'm not excited about any of these games that are coming out, their announcements nonetheless. They said they were going to bring out games. And although I am biased towards Xbox, Microsoft, I don't agree with any of their business practices. And I probably would never buy an Xbox One just because they weren't very nice to their gamers. You know what I'm saying? Sitting up there spying in your living room and putting in, advertisements to try to appeal to you. You know, and all this other stuff that was just pretty much anti-gamer. I just didn't like anything about Xbox. But these are announcements nonetheless. And, putting biases aside, even though I don't like Microsoft and Xbox and, doing all this little shady stuff, it's news nonetheless. It's news nonetheless. There's exclusives nonetheless. And you gotta give credit where credit is due. That's all I gotta say. I will give this conference pretty much maybe a B. You know what I'm saying? In terms of hype, it was boring. That's the only reason why I didn't get an A. But I will give it a B because they showed the games. They were exclusive. All the games that I announced on here were exclusive for the Xbox, and I will be surprised if I'm probably missing a couple. And they did show off a couple of multiplats. I don't like when they do that. I don't like when they lie. But nonetheless, I gotta give credit where credit is due, and they showed games. Still biased towards the Xbox. I don't like their business practices. That's the only reason why I don't want to purchase one. And the fact that their system is very huge, and the Kinect serves no purpose, really. You're buying the system just for their games alone, and nothing really new. And I don't like Kinect, so what am I buying it for? But they showed games nonetheless. That's all I have to say. B for the press conference. The only reason why I didn't get an A because it was boring as hell. That's all I gotta say. This is Kid91 signing out, and stay tuned for my reviews for Sony and Nintendo's press conference. Maybe EA and Ubisoft. Maybe. Talk to you guys later. Peace.